What is up, YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Today we have a brand new team. Finally, a brand new team. We got Mega Venusaur on deck this time with Landis Varian, Celesteela, Tapu Fini, Darmanitan, and Raichu. Should be a pretty fun episode. And yeah, this team, we're using some new Pokemon that I don't think I've ever used on the series. I don't think I've ever used Raichu. I know I've used Togedemaru. I don't think I've ever used Raichu on the series. Venusaur, never used Mega Venusaur on the channel yet, and Darmanitan is definitely a newcomer. And Celesteela, we've only used Celesteela once, and it was like a really wacky weakness policy, autonomized set. But this time we're rocking the standard Misty Seed set. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to try out this team. I only played like I think one or two battles. I think I did two, but I could be mistaken. I had two teams that I was testing out with Mega Venusaur. One of them was a Chandelure Stack Attacker one, and the other one was this one that you see here. I felt like this one was more solid, but I'm not exactly too sure. It looks like we're gonna go against pretty tough team right away. We're gonna see Metagross, Incineroar, Porygon, Tapu Lele, Kangaskhan, and Araquanid. Very interesting team. You got dual Mega, dual Psychic, dual Normal. You know what looks really good though? Celesteela. Celesteela does fantastic against my opponent's team if I position it right. I'm thinking of going Fini. Just Fini plus Celesteela here, because Acrobatics hits pretty much everything on my opponent's team. Celesteela does pretty well against my opponent's team. Just gotta figure out what Pokemon I want to bring here. I kind of like Darmanitan, but at the same time I don't, because of the fact that it can hit the Metagross and the Tapu Lele really hard. I know that the Incineroar is coming for a fact. Like, it has to be acknowledged. I will lead Celesteela and Tapu Fini, I think. I think it's very solid against my opponent's team. And what do I want to go? I want Landers in the back. The question is what Pokemon I want as the last Pokemon. Raichu does okay, but it's not exactly the biggest. It doesn't really do the most things in this matchup. I'm thinking Venusaur might come out just because of the fact that it's a switch into a Araquanid. Leech Seed, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that because of the fact if I get rid of the Psychic types, like Mega Venusaur can pretty much stall out every single Pokemon on my opponent's side here. We're using a bit more of a slower base team. We got a bit of balance. I guess it's more to bulky balance because of the fact that this team has a bit more, I guess, defensive options than offensive options, but still has okay offensive options. We're going to see the Porygon 2 Metagross lead, which is interesting. I will leave myself stay at Tapu Fini here. And probably just set up a Leech Seed onto the Metagross slot, as we will activate our Misty Seed, so we already have a boost. Porygon 2's download's going to activate, get an attack rise. I'm not really worried about Porygon 2. It's not a Pokemon that I'm really that scared of. I think just Leech Seed into the Metagross is fine. I'm not sure Metagross is threatened here, but I could see a switch out if my opponent really wants to. I don't want Fini to take too much damage right away, so I think I'm just going to protect Fini and go for a Leech Seed into Metagross. And if Porygon 2 does get a Tentacle for Trick Room up, if a Araquanid's not on the field, I can Hydro Vortex the Metagross and do a bunch of damage. We're going to see the Metagross just straight for the Mega Evolution, so no protects here. So probably just going to go straight for damage, I would assume. And Thunderbolt from Porygon 2 really isn't going to do much damage to Celesteela. I guess the worst case is if this Metagross does carry like a Thunder Punch. Let's see what my opponent decides to go for. It's going to be an Iron Head into the Fini slot. Probably just trying to get rid of the Fini so Incineroar can come in safely and deal with the Celesteela in the late game. We will get a Leech Seed off into this Metagross, which is nice, and just a straight Thunderbolt into the Fini slot. So it looks like my opponent really worried about that Tapu Fini. So I get the chip damage on Metagross, which is nice. Hydro Vortex might be able to knock it out, which, you know, if I do get rid of the Metagross and the Tapu Lele, if it's in the back, I do feel pretty confident of my win with Celesteela. So I'll go for the Hydro Vortex. Well, with the Venusaur, actually. Celesteela wins if Incineroar goes down and Araquanid's weakened or intimidated. I win the game with Venusaur if both the Psychic types go down. So I'll just go for the Hydro Vortex right here. We're going to see the Metagross retreat here, actually, into the Araquanid. So good play from my opponent's end, for sure. Really nice play on my opponent's part. However, I don't think I mind this too much because of the fact that I will be able to get damage onto this Araquanid, which is really nice for me because of the fact that it might just put it in range of Acrobatics. This Acrobatics is really strong from Celesteela, so thinking Acrobatics might be able to actually do it in the following turn. We'll see how much damage this does to the Araquanid. Probably, I would assume 15, 20. Yeah, not bad damage. And Leech Seed will get me any recovery that I take later in this game. So let's see what the Porygon gonna do now. Gonna go for the Trick Room. So okay, so we have 4 turns of Trick Room to work with. Not too bad for me. The Metagross isn't really a threat under Trick Room. I got a Leech Seed on Porygon too, so I'll be getting health. I do have Acrobatics on the Celesteal, so I'm pretty much free just to go for the Acrobatics here into Rockrunnid. And easily probably just switch out into my Landorus for Intimidate. I'm not sure if you're going to Ice Beam my Phoenix slot. It would be a really great play if you did. Yet, I don't think I would mind. I could also make another play and just go out into Venusaur, I think. Venusaur would also be really solid here just to switch in for Celesteela or Tapu Fini. I'm not sure if you're going to waste your Z-move right away because, one, you don't know if I double protect here with my Celesteela because I could easily make that play. I feel like you might go Incineroar here for the Porygon 2, but it looks like you're going to stay in. So, we'll bring out my Landorus here for the Intimidate. Which means if there is no Incineroar coming in, Acrobatics should be able to knock out a Rockrunnid, I would think, at this range. We're just going to see a Liquidation come out. Target down. Ooh, nice call. It does target down the Landorus slot. So that is not able to pick up the KO. Is it a double, though? No, it's just a Thunderbolt. Okay. Maybe just predict the Celesteela to protect it. Acrobatics going to go off into Rockrunnid. And Celesteela, that Acrobatics just hurts so much. We knock out a Rockrunnid. And that is a nice target because of the fact that it's something that just sponged up my Tapu Fini's attacks. So, not a bad target, I guess. We are able to get a Leech Seed off into Porygon 2, zapping it away. So, that Leech Seed is going to be staying there unless my opponent decides to switch it out. We're going to see the Metagross come back in. Probably just go for Ice Beam into Landorus. I do think just getting... Should I weaken the Porygon 2? No, because it can recover up later in the game pretty easily. Not enough turns of Trick Room or Fast Spot yet. I'll just Leech Seed the Metagross and I think just go out in a Fini. But what if you predict that and go for Thunderbolt? Is Landorus even worth keeping around? I don't think it is, realistically. Fini is good for control over this game. So I'm just going to Earthquake and Leech Seed here. I could see Porygon 2 also doubling out, but we're going to see the Thunderbolt. Yep, predicts my Fini switch. So nice. I'm able to get a huge Earthquake off into Metagross, unless this is a really slow Metagross for some reason. But yeah, my Landorus is slower. It doesn't have, you know, a lot of speed investment. Earthquake will come out. My opponent definitely predicted the Fini to come in, but I don't think I have a reason to. Look at that beautiful damage on Metagross, who goes straight for the Hammer Arm into the Landorus slot. Interesting. So this is a Hammer Arm Metagross. So Iron Head, Hammer Arm. I cannot tell what the next move is. But, I mean, we got a ton of damage off into my opponent's side of the field. Looking pretty good because depending on the back, if it's Lele, this game was over already, but I'm pretty sure it should be the Incineroar in the back. We will go my Fini here. Yep, Fini. And how many turns of Trick Room left? 2, right? Yeah, 2. I'm just going to go for the... I think Heavy Slam's more powerful against the Porygon 2. And I think I'm going to go for Muddy Water. The reason I'm going to make this play is because of the fact that Porygon 2 recovers, Muddy Water just goes off. The match is just going to be forfeited. So I guess my opponent... I don't know what my opponent really had in the back as my 3DS is blinking red, so I'll be right back. Okay, got my 3DS plugged in, but yeah, like, I guess my opponent thought, okay, I didn't have a win condition. I made the really wrong play. My Metagross took too much damage. Maybe just either didn't have an answer to Venusaur in the back, because it makes sense, because if it is Incineroar in the back, you kind of lose to Mega Venusaur with the Leech Seed stall, because the Metagross is in range of another Leech Seed hit plus Giga Drain. And you might lose your Porygon 2 there. That's a possibility because, again, as I said, the reason why I decided to go for the Muddy Water play alongside Heavy Slam is because, okay, Porygon 2 recovers because it needs to in order to survive a Leech Seed and Heavy Slam combination. I knock out the Metagross there because there's no double up in the Fini, which is the only way my opponent can knock out Fini. And, you know, if you do attack with Porygon 2, you lose to Porygon 2, you can no longer switch, and then I just Leech Seed trap, and the Metagross, like, goes down to 1 or 2 more Leech Seed hits. So that was the game plan there. Our opponent here this time, we got a Gengar, Incineroar, Tapu Bulu, Komo, Gothitelle, and Mawile. Okay. Some interesting Pokemon here. Yeah, definitely some interesting Pokemon right here. I don't like Mega Venusaur. The reason I don't like Mega Venusaur is the Mawile is pretty annoying to deal with. I don't like Raichu either. Like, Venusaur, I think if you're going to go Mega Evolutions, it should be the Mawile coming out. I think the 4 you would probably bring here would be, I think, Tapu Bulu. Maybe you don't bring Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu does pretty poor against my team, but you might need it for the Landers. So I think Gothitelle Mawile comes in this matchup. Don't know about Como. I could see Como. I definitely see Incineroar coming in, though. I think it's Gothitelle, Mawile, Incineroar, and then one of the two, Como and Tapu Bulu. I don't think Gengar comes in. It's not that great in this matchup. Maybe my opponent brings it, but I don't really see it. I think Darmanitan plus Feeny can do a lot of work in this matchup. And I think the back Pokemon should be my Landers and Celesteela. I'm leaning Darmanitan because if Mawile leads, it might pressure the Mawile to protect there. And I can knock out the Gothitelle with Flare Blitz plus Hydro Vortex. And also the fact that this Darmanitan is Scarf. And EV trained so it can at least outspeed Adamant Scarf Landers, which is faster than max speed Bulu. So I will be able to outspeed Bulu if it is Scarf. We're going to see the Gengar Como lead, though, which is not what I anticipated at all. I could Flare Blitz Moonblast, though, pretty easily. I don't see a problem with making that play, actually. I'm really surprised. It means probably no Mawile, or unless this is a Focus Sash Gengar, or like Focus Sash Trick-Room Gengar, my opponent didn't bring both. This should be fine, though. I do have a Flare Blitz. This will KO the Gengar, and I will go for the Moonblast into the Como. I mean, this is sheer force boosted Darmanitan making an appearance. Let's go. Como gonna retreat. That might be Incineroar, which is fine because Incineroar taking damage is good. Because remember, that's like the main Pokemon that my Celesteela doesn't like, and I'm pretty sure mine one's Flare Blitz can still knock out a Gengar. So we'll find out. We're gonna see the Mega Evolution here. I'm guessing it's a Protect. Yeah, I would assume it's a Protect, which would be fine, I think. Fake Out plus Sludge Bomb shouldn't knock on my Darmanitan either. Yep, we're going to see Protect. So basically, I just got free damage into the Incineroar slot, which I don't mind too much. And we'll see what kind of Incineroar this is, if it's a Salt Vest or if it's probably a Berry set. We're going to see that it is... I think that's Berry. I want to say that's Berry. But since I don't have to worry about Mawile, I don't really need my Darmanitan out as much here. I think I'm just going to Flare Blitz and Protect. Dude, this is a sheer force boosted Darmanitan with Flare Blitz. You're probably faking out Darmanitan, though, and probably Sludge Bombing it. Or you double up my Feeny, but I don't want Feeny to take too much damage, and I don't Darmanitan. Oh, it's Sub. That's a little bit problematic. Yeah, that's a little bit problematic. But I could just Hydro Vortex to Incineroar, I think. I'm going to Hydro Vortex. I'll just... Because if I get rid of Incineroar, I do win. I think you should switch out Incineroar, though. But if I can get rid of it, that's a pretty big deal for me. So I'll happily go for the Hydro Vortex here. Nothing on my opponent's team really likes it either. Like, Bulu won't be appreciating Hydro Vortex. Gengar Sub is going to be knocked out. I should live Sludge Bomb from like, a Gengar. Ooh, it might be a roll depending on what kind of Gengar it is. Because I am using a more offensive Tapu Fini spread. I mean, it does still have bulk. I mean, it does have a pretty good amount of bulk, but who knows? It might be a roll, actually. And it looks like my opponent might just give me Incineroar if this Sludge Bomb doesn't KO. So Flare Blitz, I really need this not to KO, too, because if it KOs, I'm in a pretty bad spot. I'm assuming since it's a substitute, it's going to be Timid, because Timid Gengar is usually the one that carries the substitute. Sludge Bomb going to come out. Nice, we survive. We're going to get a Hydro Vortex off into the Gengar slot, which is, I mean, not the Gengar, the slot, the Incineroar slot, which is good. And I'm guessing the last Pokemon, if you brought Como, it has to be, I think, the Tapu Bulu. Like, Gothitelle or Mawile doesn't make much sense here, especially Mawile since Gengar Mega Evolved. Hydro Vortex is just going to come out, knock out the Incineroar, even through AV. I mean, it took the Moonblast damage and powerful Z-move. So, yeah, my opponent's Celesteela answers don't look great here at this point of the game, which I'm really happy about. And since the Gengar took damage, like, it's already in range of my Flare Blitz from later. Let's see what's going to come out here. It will be the Como. So I don't care if Feeny goes down here. I really don't need Feeny around. Okay, you should never sack your Gengar here. You should always Protect here. The Flare Blitz into Como might actually matter for the Moonblast range. You know I'm Scarf too. Huh. I really want to Flare Blitz to Como because of the fact that if I do Flare Blitz, I probably just put it into acrobatic range from my Celesteela. But then again, you would Soul Blaze the following turn. So, I wouldn't even get the KO on Como. I'm pretty sure, so, yeah. So, we're just going to see the Protect from the Gengar, which is fine. Even if you Soul Blaze up, it's not even a big deal because I do outspeed the Como unless it's Timid for some reason. It's just going to Flamethrower my Tapu Fini slot, which I don't mind because Feeny going down just gives me a free switch into my Celesteela, which is already pretty good here because Celesteela is going to do a lot of work here in this matchup. So we'll bring out the Celesteela and activate my Misty Seed, which is really good because I do want to set up that Misty Seed so I can boost my power of Acrobatics before a Bulu comes in potentially. And yeah, we'll just Flare Blitz this Gengar. And yeah, nothing really wants to come in on it, and I'll just Acrobatics the Como for probably a 2-shot. I don't want to Leech Seed and miss. It's really not worth it if I can 2-shot the Como anyway. We're going to see the Gengar retreat. That's probably the Bulu coming out. Yep. And even though it's, even though it's a -1 Flare Blitz, it's Sheer Force boosted, it should be able to knock out the Tapu Bulu. So Flare Blitz coming out from Darmanitan. Should knock out Bulu. Yep. Get rid of Bulu, which is great. So Bulu goes down. And we'll see what my opponent goes for. Probably just that Soul Blaze. So oh, Substitute actually. Probably expecting the Leech Seed. That actually works better for me, I think. Because Acrobatic's going to come out. Yeah, so my opponent trying to go for the over prediction, but now Darmanitan is still looking like a threat. I mean, this is looking pretty good for me. This is looking really good for me as, my opponent's going to heal up a bit. I could probably just go for a Leech Seed. No Leech Seed. I think I still go for Acrobatics no matter what. Gengar going to come back in. I don't think I Flare Blitz the Gengar here. I think I just go for the Flare because I don't need to target down the Gengar. I mean, I feel like you're forced to protect Gengar no matter what in any situation, so yeah, Gengar's forced to protect here, so I just get free damage into this Como, which might actually put it in range of Earthquake, which is what I'm going for. Earthquake, even in the grassy terrain, even after the boost. So Flare Blitz going to come out into Como. I get a... That's actually not bad chip damage. That's a -1 Flare Blitz. I'll take that. Como is like base 125 physical defense too. We're going to see the Soul Blaze, and I'll see right after the Soul Blaze animation. And we'll see if Celesteela is able to pick up the knockout after the boost. Man, that was actually really weak against Celesteela. I know I have a special defense boost, but geez, that's still really weak. We do see Darmanitan get knocked out, but Darmanitan, you did your job. Good work, Soldier, as Acrobatic's going to come out into the Como right here, and that actually just picks up the knockout straight away. Good thing I went for the Flare Blitz because I don't think I would have knocked out otherwise. Now it's a Gengar against the world. I do have Celesteela, gain that special defense boost, so this Gengar really not going to be able to touch it, and that should be the game because a critical hit Shadow Ball won't knock out Celesteela. I'll be able to get a Heavy Slam off, which I think Heavy Slam is base power 120, Acrobatics is 110, so yeah, I just do more damage with Heavy Slam. And plus, you shouldn't be able to knock out my Assault Vest Landers either. Parasong isn't an option that can win you the game. There's basically no out for my opponent here, as the match is going to be forfeited, and we will be able to take up a win. So, yeah, that's why I was really surprised to see the Como option here, instead of, like, the Gothitama, but yeah, it ended up working. My opponent just giving me the Incineroar, which is all I needed for Celesteela to do well. As you saw, my opponent didn't have good answers to Celesteela. Once I got rid of Incineroar at turn, I believe it was turn 3, I was just able to wreck the game with Celesteela, which, after I saw the Gengar Como lead, I'm like, oh, Celesteela wins if I just get rid of the Incineroar, which I already explained. Always targeted down, and yeah, as you saw, Darmanitan putting on pressure against the Gengar because, Sheer Force Flare Blitz is still going to hurt. Like, it does massive damage. As we find our last opponent from Spain, 1674 rating. I was going to change the music, but apparently he doesn't want me to. Interesting team, though. We got a Incineroar, Gengar, Zapdos, Milotic, Kartana, and Garchomp. This is interesting. This is intriguing for me. Unfortunately, the thing about my team is it doesn't have immediate ways to threaten like Garchomp. I'm trying to think because all my Pokemon could do a lot of work in this matchup. Like, Like, I really like Darmanitan as a way to handle the Kartana. I like Landers as a switch into these Pokemon. This is a really tough decision. Feeny is good here. Again, Mega Venusaur can win if I get rid of Kartana, I think. Maybe I should focus on getting rid of Kartana. Maybe I just lead Venusaur Darmanitan because I want the boost, have Celesteela and Feeny as the switch-ins in the back. I think that would be fine. I mean, I really would like Landers. but I think my options are okay. The priority is get rid of the Incineroar for my Style Stealer. That's one way I can win. Or if I want to win the Mega Venusaur route, I have to get rid of Kartana because I cannot touch Kartana with my Pokemon. Or I get a 2v1 with my Venusaur being that one. And a Pokemon that can't do damage to my Venusaur and I Leech Seed it, and then I can maybe beat the Kartana down. But that's still questionable. I think Kartana could still win that. So, Venusaur Darmanitan going to lead here against my opponents. Gengar Zapdos, okay. I mean... Man, I haven't brought Raichu, and Raichu would actually be good here. I would have threatened like a bunch of damage right here. Gengar coming as a lead, interesting. Would I want to trade Darmanitan for Zapdos potentially? Because I'm thinking Gengar might protect turn 1. It doesn't want to take a flare, but Zapdos Tailwinds. Next turn, I'm trapped in, but I KO'd Zapdos potentially if it's not a berry set. What comes in is the question. Well, I do have answers to Kartana and Celesteela, so maybe it's worth going for the double up into the Zapdos. Because I think Gengar doesn't want to risk a Scarf Flare Blitz right here. I really don't think you should risk it. Zapdos is going to retreat though, which is interesting, as the Garchomp's going to come in from my opponent's side. Okay, good switch from my opponent. I wonder if it's Scarf Garchomp then. You have to protect with Gengar. Please tell me you protect with Gengar. I could have U-turned too, which is what I was thinking of. Maybe U-turning out, but I didn't want to get trapped in by the Zapdos because that could have been really difficult for my team to handle. If I got trapped in with against the Zapdos, I would be playing defensive against this team while Zapdos puts on a lot of offensive pressure. Yep, Gengar going to protect here. Okay. So, I mean, I at least get a Flare Blitz off. This is probably Scarf, but that means it's probably, I would assume it's... Look at that damage, though. Oh, my lord. Look at that damage, though. Get Sludge Bomb off into the Garchomp. No poison, but, like, that damage is really impressive. That damage is really impressive. Pretty sure it's Scarf Garchomp, which means you're probably going to see a switch. So, I think you're going to Zapdos and Earthquake here, so I'm just going to Flare Blitz. Oh, Scarf Stomping Tantrum. That knocks out my Darmanitan. Oh, okay. And just Sludge Bomb. That's actually pretty bad, because I don't know if I live a Sludge Bomb plus Stomping. No, I don't live it. The double up the following turn. Ooh, that's bad. I can go into Selly here. Yeah, this is good. This is a tough one now. I forgot that Stomping Tantrum was a potential option, so... Do you switch Garchomp out back into Zapdos? Ooh, I gotta make the read right, I think. If you double up Venusaur, I don't protect, I lose. If you switch out Garchomp into Zapdos... I think I'm gonna Heavy Slam the Garchomp. No matter what, I don't feel good about this. But it looks like the Garchomp stayed in, so I'm probably getting the read right at least. Yeah, it's a Stomping Tantrum into Sludge Bomb combination. So I at least get one read right. Or a Shadow Ball. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna get the Heavy Slam and knock out the Garchomp, which is good. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to survive a Shadow Ball plus Thunderbolt coming out for an Zapdos the following turn. So I guess that's that's solid for my opponent. I kind of wish I Leech Seeded now, at least, or at least Giga Drained the Garchomp and Heavy Slam the Gengar, because that would have been better. I didn't expect my opponent to go for a spread, but that makes sense because if I do protect with one of them, you at least don't lose anything. Kartana's gonna come out, huh? Oh, that makes sense, because Kartana Sacred Sword into an attack from my, This is looking pretty bad now. I lost my main answer to Kartana, and my Celesteela took a lot of damage. My opponent has played this excellently so far. I mean, I don't need damage on the Gengar. I need damage on the Kartana. I'll protect here. We're going to see Shadow Ball come out into Celesteela. I'm guessing it's a double up. Yeah, it's a double up. Okay. At least I get one call right. Let's see how much Giga Drain does. Not a bad amount, but I mean, I need Celesteela to live the double up from Sacred Sword and Shadow Ball. Maybe? I don't think it's realistic. It depends. Maybe if this Kartana doesn't have much attack investment, I can survive. I just need 1 accurate bags off in the Kartana so I can put in maybe 2 Giga Drain ranges. Shadow Ball gonna come out. Oh, that did way too much. No, there's no way I'm gonna survive this. Then it's a Beast Boost for the tag. This game looks over. I think this game's over. Beast Boost, Giga Drain. Yeah, I think that should be a wrap. Unless the Zapdos doesn't have Roost. I mean, I can play this game out, but I mean, it seems pretty pointless. Maybe if you... I think I gotta go for a choke, because even if I protect, Giga Drain doesn't get me anything. I think I have to Hydro Vortex the Kartana, hope my opponent doubles up into Venusaur, saying Venusaur is too troublesome to leave on its own if I don't KO it, but realistically, you should always Leaf Blade Defini. Sludge Bomb Defini. I mean, I understand the Sludge Bomb. The Leaf Blade. Was Kartana not attack Beast Boost? No, that should have KO'd anyway. Well, no matter what, there was like nothing I could do at this point in the game because of the fact that I just couldn't break through this. Once I lost my Darmanitan, got myself still a bit weakened, it was just out. So I didn't really play this matchup well. I think if I needed to, I should have just went for U-turn turn 1. Because I thought if I was trading anything, because I didn't think my opponent would go hard Garchomp there, but then again, Garchomp was able to survive the double attack, so I understand the play. And then it was able to trap me in. So I guess in reality, what I should have done was just U-turn out and not allow me to get trapped into that, even at the risk of the Zapdos. But I just didn't want to get trapped in against Zapdos with Celesteela. But then again, it might have been worth it because a Giga Drain plus Heavy Slam might have been able to knock out the Gengar the following turn. And keeping Darmanitan around meant Kartana couldn't do Kartana things, and not dealing with the Gengar early. Well, I couldn't even touch the Gengar, could I? I mean, I could have Heavy Slammed the Gengar instead of the Garchomp. Which, you know, it just depends on if that KOs, because I don't know if that KOs. But if I did that, if it does KO, I'm in a decent spot, I guess, because I can switch. Yeah, maybe it was actually worth going for it. And besides, Garchomp was still been locked in the Stomping Tantrum. You're either forced to bring out Zapdos, which can't Stomping Tantrum into... but that, again, the question is, does it knock out the Gengar, Heavy Slam knockout Gengar? I think the problem was, like, I just put myself in a bad position for Shadow Attack to be locked in. So, well played to my opponent, but we are going to go 2-1 in today's episode. Darmanitan put in some work, so I'm pretty happy about it. I wish I brought Raichu, though. I wish I brought Raichu in this episode. I think I could have brought Raichu in the third game, because I think Raichu could have done okay here, because the Helping Hand would have allowed me to maybe do a lot of work with Darmanitan. But hope everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. If you did like it, please leave a like down below, show some support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, such as my social medias, the side series of my channel, and all that will be linked down below, as well as the previous episodes. If you have missed them, feel free to leave a comment down below, as I do read them. Otherwise, have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.